I have 26 maps that we're going to go through, and we're going to rank them in this tier list here. So up the top, we have the goated list, the above average maps, which are just kind of like, you know, baseline. You guys need to have it. And we have maps that could use some work. Not worth downloading. I don't think anything in this list is going to make that, but we'll see. We'll see. These maps were made for fun. This video is for fun. It's not to be taken seriously. This is just my tier list of what I think are, you know, cool apps to download. All these maps are amazing. I recommend downloading every single one of them. So the first one we have on our list here is 33 Brawl Unit Lane. You know, realistic textures and obstacles, but it's laid out in a way that's very stylized and it kind of looks like a skateboarding video game map. And I think this is one of the best skateboarding video game maps that we have in Skater XL. It's not meant to be super realistic. It's meant to be super fun. And that's exactly what this map is. I think 33 Brawl Unit Lane is above average. Right here, we have Applewood Park by Roartex. Kinda looks like it's inspired a little bit by Skate. It has very big handrails. It runs amazing, has a high frame rate. This is definitely an above average map. Berlin XL by Gio. For a long time, this was considered the most realistic map in Skater XL. It had the best lighting. It had some of the best textures. So many spots. This map is absolutely massive. It runs really well too, which is actually insane. So we're gonna put Berlin up to goated. Next up, we have Big City Remake by Mickey 411 VM. This is one of the first maps we ever seen moving cars in. You can skate the roof. You can actually grind across buildings. There are like some Spider-Man type rails like this. It was at one point above average, but I do think it's maybe an average map now, or maybe it's above average. I'm gonna put it in the above average category. We'll keep stuff in order too. All right, so the next one is probably the most controversial map in Skater XL, or one of them, or it was when the game came out. The Big Ramp by Easy Day themselves. This is an official map. Everybody knows about it. One of the craziest maps in Skater XL, as it has like one of the biggest ramps in the game. This is a fun map. It's not meant to be super realistic unless you're skating like the mini ramp stuff. But if you know about Skater XL before the game was released on console, there was a warehouse map that had a mini ramp, and it was one of the best maps in Skater XL. It's very small, and this map actually has that mini ramp. I think the mini ramp is one of the best mini ramps in the entire game. Big Ramp on above average. So the next one we have here is Brooklyn Blue Park, and this one's extremely cool. When I found out about this map, I was kind of blown away because this map was commissioned by Jenkem Magazine. If you're running on a lower end PC, this map might be pretty heavy. There's a lot of foliage and stuff. If you go around the entire map, there's a bunch of spots. Like you have this little park over here as well to skate to. This rainbow set. I think this map is also above average. So the next one we have here is Karyuma Greenworld. So every skate park is labeled as a different shoe. There's a giant shoe model over here. A little secret thing about this map is if you go through this door here, you can actually travel through it. There actually is a barracks map down here, so an Easter egg. All that I can really point out with this map compared to other maps is just the textures and lighting needs a little bit of work. You know, this is one of Sasho's first maps. I'm sure he's learned a lot since this map was made. This is a really old map, but I think in the way that it is, I think this is an average map. It has the barracks though. All right, so I'm gonna put this map on average right there. All right, so next up we have LA Courthouse. When I first played Skater XL and bought this game, this was the only map in the entire game. This rail seems to come and go in every patch they add, and it seems like these rails are either missing textures or they're broken. So this map does have bugs. So I'm kind of holding back when I say this map is goated, but I do think it deserves to be above average at least. It's not a crazy map, but this map has stood the test of time. This map is the oldest map in Skater XL, and I still play it. So we're gonna actually put this above average. I want to put it at goated. There's a few things about it that I want to hold it back from that. So we're gonna put it above average at the highest. From what I know, this map was actually created by John, the person that developed Skater XL originally, and he doesn't work for the studio anymore. So the person that made this map is not around anymore, unfortunately. Won't be seeing any more maps like this, I don't think. See if we can get a nice tray flip nose blunt for David Reyes on hell yeah, that was sick. Easy Day High School is a goated map, and I think it's actually above Berlin. Embarcadero Plaza, if I can pronounce it correctly, has the Gons Gap. As you can see here, if you have modded settings, it's a little bit hard to get over stuff. So you have to consider the fact that, you know, stuff is big. So this map, I like the lighting. The textures are nice. You can't really judge the layout of a map if it's a recreation of a real spot. I'm looking over here. There's an overlapping texture. Like the DIY stuff over here, I just don't know. I don't think it's that cool. I think with a few updates and a few changes, it could be an average or above average map for sure. Even just taking out the DIY stuff, you know, but I just think the way that it is now, not a big fan. I don't know. Next up, we have the Famoso Playground by Alex Laska. So this actually is a recreation of a real skate park with some street spots all around it. It's really cool. We'll put it like up above Applewood here. I think it's, you know, above Applewood. It's pretty damn good. This was the first map that I ever downloaded. I think overall there's some really big stuff here that works really well for vanilla. This map is super old and it was actually designed when there wasn't many mods available. I'm gonna put this at above average and we're gonna put it right around the big ramp here. So the next map we have here is Grant Park. The layout is amazing. It's a recreation of a real skate park. So you can't really judge the layout. Like, I mean, it's just a recreation. I just don't think the fog is something I always want to play, but we're gonna put this one at average. So next up we have Hoodland by Pactol. The layout of the map itself is one of the best in the entire game. So overall, even though I don't like the lighting and stuff and what they did to the art direction and the name change, the layout has not changed. Pactol is one of the best map creators in the game. This map is goated. Hoodland is a goated map. So the next one we have is this big boy right here. And I'm going to show you a couple of things about this map that you probably don't know about. So we're at LA downtown, and this is by Easy Date themselves. It's an official map. You have the above level, you have the downstairs. Like, to make a map like this that flows underground and goes above ground with a perfect layout and textures like this, it's pretty insane. Pretty funny stuff that you might have not recognized before. There's actually a picture of one of the developers and their kid. There's a picture of a little girl. And you have another picture here of a developer and his kid. And then you got this kid there just doing the face. This map is goated. And we're gonna put it up here. Next up, we have Ocean Beach by Yaki, and this map is only on PC. I really wish this one made it to console because this map is actually scaled and designed for vanilla settings. It's a bit tougher to get onto these rails if you have modded settings, but they're still possible, and there's a decent looking smith. It's kind of weird how the camera turns around as you're doing it. Whoa. So we'll put this one at above average. California Skate Park, otherwise known as Poods, I believe it's called to people IRL. On modded settings, this map works amazing, but on vanilla settings, you'll tend to float over almost everything. And the bowl in this map, like, I mean, it's a 1-to-1 scale ratio bowl, but I gotta say, it's probably the hardest bowl to skate in the entire game. So on console, I think this map needs a lot of work. On PC, I think this map is almost goated. So overall, this map is kind of an average map. So we'll put this one at average here. I'll put it a little bit higher up like this. Brand new map that came out last week. So I think this will get fixed, but this map crashes. You can't really judge the layout of the map too much because it's a recreation of a real park. This was the first SLS stop of this year's tour. So this is a SLS map, but overall, this map needs some work. It crashes for me every time I play it. Just for the day version, we're gonna put this one on could use some work. So the next map we have is the same map. It's the lights out version. This map looks insane. Like, it's the same exact map. So you've already heard my thoughts on the layout. It's a good layout. It's scaled nicely. It works really good for console players. You can still play it on modded settings. Like, I mean, I can still do stuff, kind of. It looks way better. It's the same map. It doesn't crash. Big difference between the day and the night version. I'm gonna put this one up here. It's like, it's up there. It's pretty damn good. Next up, we have Quebec Skate Plaza by Alex Laska. What I've heard a lot of people on console say is it's a little bit small for them. So all things considered with that, I mean, it's a great PC map. Console, it's not the easiest to skate. You have to kind of slow yourself down and use low pop a lot. All right, so we're gonna put this one at an average score, and I think like something around there, you know? So we have River Fern by Tate James. The vert stuff is really cool. So, you know, the vert is really cool. There's a little foam pit there, and the street spots are kind of cool. It's definitely above average. Next up, we have El Sereno Skate Park by Sunday, I believe. This is a recreation of a real skate park. I'm not sure if it's 1-to-1 scale. It actually does seem really, really small. Overall, in the grand scheme of everything and all the maps, I think this map is above average, but just considering the list that we have today, we'll put this one an average score, kind of near Poods, because these parks are kind of similar, you know, small 1-to-1 scale. There's nothing too crazy about them, right? All right, Streets 2 Day by Jean Olive. This map took Jean Olive like 6 months to make, I believe. It's very photogenic, nice lighting, good textures. It runs really, really well. We're gonna put this one way up here, above average, really high. That's a good map. So this is Streets 1, you know, same deal. Street spots. I think this map is probably, you know, similar ranking to Streets 2. Honestly, it's very consistent. with how he made both maps. I think Streets definitely deserves to be an above average map, maybe a little bit lower than Streets 2. He did a great job in Streets 2. Let's put this one like right there. It's pretty good. This is kind of a weird one that they added to the mob browser randomly. This map was never finished. This was Van's first map that he ever made, and he's made quite a few maps since this map. Overall, this map does need a lot of work because, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's not even finished, so it does need a lot of work. This map was one of the best maps at the time when it came out, even though it wasn't even done yet. It has some super unique stuff, and the building itself was super cool. But overall, I'll put this one at needs some work because I would like to see it get some love. You know, if it could get some updates to it, it could easily take an above average spot for sure. Like, it would have to. So will you put this one at could use some work just for the reason that it's just not finished. I mean, it's nothing against the map. The map's awesome. Yaki's Warehouse. And this is a map that I never really ever skate. And honestly, when I load in here, like, yo, this map is crazy looking. Like, it has some nice textures, man. Like, yo, what the heck? I don't know. I like to consider all different angles for this. For console players, I don't really know what you guys think about this map. Probably, you know, an average or maybe needs some work. It's definitely a high average. That's a decent list. So we have a couple goated maps: LA High School, LA Downtown, Berlin, and Hoodland as my goated maps. I didn't rate any of these maps not worth downloading because, you know, the map creators put so much time and effort into these maps that every map is worth downloading from this list. Every map in this list is worth downloading and having, for sure. That does not mean that every map in Skater XL is worth downloading. That does not mean that. If you go to the modding website now, under the map section, we have 504 maps. If you sort by popular overall, you can, you know, find some of the best maps in the game. We already did a couple of these ones like River Fern, Applewood, Quebec, Berlin, The Warehouse, Fermenter. Pretty much all the top maps in this list we've covered in this video today. So the reason why we did that is because they're the most popular maps. They're on the mod browser. Everybody knows about them. Everybody has them. Farther you get down to the very bottom, those maps aren't, you know, really that worth downloading. But overall, since we did the most popular maps in Skater XL, they're all worth downloading for sure. We just kind of ranked them differently from each other. So this was a pretty fun video for me to make. If you guys like this, make sure to like and subscribe on the video today. That would help me out a ton. It's free to do that. And if you want to come hang out, chill, ask questions, and play multiplayer together and stuff on new maps, come hit me up on Twitch and give me a follow there. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to catch you all in the next video. Peace out.